You keep telling yourself that you will start when it's perfect. You will post when you're confident. You will launch when it's polished. But deep down, you already know that it's not that the fact that you're afraid of failing. It's the fact that you're afraid of being seen before you feel ready. And believe it or not, that is the exact reason why you should act now. I personally used to wait too. I waited before I started dropshipping back in the day. I waited before I post my first content to lead me towards my content that I do now. I waited before I started my first product. And because of that, someone else who's not as knowledgeable as me, who's not as smart as me in the subject, or not as confident as I am, because they just took the chance, they grew. They built. Meanwhile, I was stuck, still trying to perfect the plan. And this realization kind of led me to the idea that readiness is a myth, and action creates clarity. Perfectionism is the most dangerous lie that high achievers believe, even introverts ourselves. Because we replay a moment 3 times in our head before we actually start to make a movement towards it. We would confuse thinking with being prepared. And you know what actually prepares you? Actually doing the thing that you need to do, right? If you're like the rest of the general public who wishes things will get done, they mentally masturbate themselves to the idea of them accomplishing goals, then this video may not be for you. My channel might not be for you. But if you're one of those who are ready to take the step to be better, then this channel is for you. But let me just get back to the topic. Making the move before you feel qualified is what you should be doing. Let me say that again. That mental masturbation that goes on your head of you thinking of what it would be like to make the move is not what gets you forward. You actually doing the move is what's going to get you forward. Let me tell you a story of how I started dropshipping back in the day, right? When I was back on deployment, I was in Africa doing my thing, and I thought I needed a way to make some extra money, right? So I joined different dropshipping courses. I joined this one that kind of resonated with me, and I liked it. And at first, when I first started, everything is hard with dropshipping. You have to kind of find your different buyers, find out what website works best for you. I used to use CJ Dropshipping, if you heard of it. But you just gotta work out all the kinks and everything and figure out your branding and how your whole website design works. But luckily for me, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I believed in myself and I believed in the process of getting things done. And about 3 weeks into the process, I made over $2,000. But I stopped it because that isn't something I want to do. The reason why I tell you that story is because if you take action now, if you stop thinking about the action and actually do it, then that's when the real gains begin. Here's what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of being seen. You're afraid of people seeing you before you feel like you're credible in the subject or in the knowledge. That's why you don't feel failure. You fear visibility before validation, meaning that that's a deep wound that we all face as introverts, right? And we honestly want to hide the fact that we're not ready yet, that we're not confident yet, because that just means that we're not bulletproof. But all great players, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, all took the shot, even when their hands were shaking, even when the game was on their hands, quite literally. And sometimes they made it, sometimes they didn't. But in the end, they still pushed forward. They're still well-known names today. And you can do the same by building that confidence, by taking the shot, even when you're afraid, even when you don't feel like it. I just wanted to take a step out from the video and ask you to please give the video a like and subscribe to let others know about what the channel is about for introverts who need this information, or high achievers, or people similar to yourself who's watching who can benefit from this and grow overall. Also created a course or a system that can transform you to make you a better individual overall and help you build better habits and help you get more clarity and direction in your life if you need it. It's called the execution system. Just click the link in the description. But let's get back into the video. So to kind of give you an example of a real life situation where I didn't feel ready, or another one. When I first joined the military at the age of 18 or 17, I turned 18 boot camp. I was young, confused, and just ready to grow. Something about structure and the systems and the discipline within the military is what attracted me personally, right? And in the Marine Corps, you get put in leadership positions that you're not ready for, because that what makes leaders, by getting put in situations that build you up, by taking the step forward. If you don't want to do it, there's always someone who wants to take a spot. But is that really who you are? Are you really someone who's willing to let somebody else take a spot that you earned, a spot that you want to grow from? That's the mindset you need to have. Doing things, trying different things out, experiencing things, even when you're afraid. Even when you're afraid taking that first step. Because one day, it will pay off. Most of the things that you're delaying aren't even logical. Like you're not posting, you're not launching a product, whatever that thing is. It's just you being emotional, because you're allowing that false comfort of being behind the scenes get to you. And you refuse because you think that it needs to be good or perfect before you post. But let me tell you something that you may not know. Hopefully it's not a revelation, but everyone's scared. Everyone's afraid of judgment. Even deep down, they may tell you they're not afraid of judgment, but they really are, right? But guess what? They post anyway. They lead anyway. They win anyway. Not because of how they feel. Not because of the judgment of others. But because they know what will happen if they do. They know how it feels to be scared, but they don't care. They take that first step anyways, because action negates luck. Even myself, right? On my Instagram, my videos I'm posting right now is not even getting the amount of views or likes that it should, because many people on my Instagram come from my military content, and because of that, people's not viewing it as much, right? But I don't care. I still continue posting. I still continue motivating people who look at it, even though they may not like it, even though they may not share it. I know it affects them emotionally, right? And that's the belief that you need to have, that you need to kind of get. And the only way to get there is through practice, through trying, right? The person you see today, you think I'm nervous to talk on camera? You think I've always been camera ready? I haven't. This is the repetition of doing it over and over and over again, right? I stutter. I sometimes slur my words. My mind thinks faster than the words that come out my mouth sometimes, and I have a southern accent. All the things that could hold me back. But guess what? I'm still here. I'm still pushing. And you can do the same thing if you believe in yourself. If you've been waiting on permission, this is it. If you've been waiting until you feel ready, then you're not going to feel ready. That hitting feeling you're feeling right now in your chest, that you're afraid of what people will say to you, it doesn't matter. It'll eventually go over, right? People will eventually get used to the things you post. And then, what then? Do you think they're going to be there whenever you die? Do you think 10 years down the line, they're still going to be the ones laughing at looking at your posts about how that person is? Do they pay your bills? Do they give you food at night? Do they support you? No. So, launch the product. Make the post. Do what you need to do, because the only person who you're hurting is yourself. Thank you for listening, and stay motivated.